Mr. Alex, the first topic of the test is, what do you think is a super slept on cartoon? I'll go first so you have some time to think about it.
All right.
But I think that even though a lot of people like it, I don't think it got as much time as it should have. I think Codename Kids Next Door is stupid, underrated. I feel like with the little amount we did get of it, I think it was only like 2, 3 seasons or something stupid like that. The little bit we got him on it, I don't think it was ever boring. I feel like the whole world they built, where it's like really advanced, freaking like tree houses and all these different kind of gadgets and stuff that they all use, and all that is extremely interesting. There's a lot of really good ideas. There was like other factions and stuff like that. Like the slightly older kids had their own faction, and that like weird teddy bear thing that was like a freaking zombie horde. I feel like all those things were good, but that thing should have been on for a lot longer and should have had like the same amount of runtime as maybe Adventure Time and regular show. I
How many
guess I can
seasons
kind
did
of
it
see
have?
that. I don't know. I don't know for sure off top. Here, let me look it up while you're thinking about. Well, how do you feel about my take on that?
Um, it definitely had a good seat. Like I liked it a lot because I thought the different factions based on age, like there was the adults who were often the villains, and then there were like the teenagers for when the kids aged out, which they had a whole episode dedicated to the one kid who aged out, and they introduced this device that like wipes their memory once they turn into a teenager. And then with the kids next door, how they most of their advanced like weaponry and gadgets were like common household objects. It's like what kids imagined themselves doing whenever they like play games. Like they were using like putty, like mustard and ketchup bottles as squirt guns,
Mm-hmm.
and they were what's the word I'm looking for? They were pretty creative with a lot of stuff they did. Like they turned a lot of ordinary stuff that most kids don't care like dealt with into like funny topics, like how they made a dentist a villain and how like they're super scary, or like how everyone wants to eat candy, so they make like candy like the main thing that kids eat.
Yeah.
And then what else? There was also the fact that there was this like I forgot what season or episode it was, but like they always I feel like I don't remember how many seasons, but I know that they had these like overarching story points. I don't think I've watched every episode, but like there was this like conspiracy, like these kids were working together with teenagers that were like there's a teenager that was working with the kids next door undercover, but like he still had to act like a villain for most of the seasons until you found out, oh, he's actually a good guy who's a double agent.
Dang, yeah, I don't even remember that. What the heck?
Yeah, because like it was when they introduced character who was number infinity, and like they were like having a speech where like I think they were trying to unite like the freaking kids next door with the teenagers for like a peace treaty, but then like something happened and then it's like, oh great, now things are ruined, and like number one was like exposed to the fact that there was a conspiracy, like, oh, their things are more advanced than they seem.
Dang, what the frick? Okay. Dang. Actually, low key, that actually does kind of. I faintly remember that. Feels like a fever dream.
Because
But
like
I
one of the
faintly
things that
remember
the
that.
kids next door, like, it's like you do not know what you're talking about. You've gotten yourself into something more advanced you could ever imagine. And like they stuck their nose up their finger up their nose, and then which allowed them to encase themselves in boogers, which is a thing that they did, so that way they could like teleport away, like super like Illuminati stuff.
Dang, what the? Oh my god. Holy crap. Jeez. Yeah, so further research is actually showing me Codename Kids Next Door technically has 6 seasons, and surprisingly,
6 seasons.
yeah, Adventure Time only has 8, so it's only 2 behind, which I thought it only had like 3,
I thought it
but
had
that's
one.
freaking crazy. That's well, I mean, I guess like back then, it's not like you tune in every week to see the new episode. You just kind of catch them on when they come by.
Oh yeah.
But still, I still don't feel like I got enough. But maybe if I go back and watch it all, it'll be pretty cool. But
How many episodes
I'm-
were there per season?
Oh my god, freaking that's a really good question. I was looking up their freaking numbers and I forgot that it's like how it was cool to me as well how they had like obviously they had like white characters and they had a lead black character and then a lead Japanese character, but it never seemed like it doesn't seem. I feel like a show today that did that would do that same thing would try to make it like this big focal point. Like, see, we have diversity, but for them it was just like, yeah, it's just some other kids. Like it doesn't matter, but they still decided to include that, and everybody had their own personalities. I feel like the team, like the 1 through 5 team, they all kind of like interact the same way. I like say the Ninja Turtles are, where they're just kind of this group of people who you would like. I would hang out with the kids from Codename Kids Next Door and whatnot. Like I would hang out with all of them. They all seem like people I'd hang out with. And then just seeing them interact, not even always focused on the mission, but obviously number one is like
they're kids.
Okay, yeah, exactly. He's like, I'm the kid, but I'm the leader, so I always got to be focusing about our next mission. And then you got, I think number 2's the pilot, and he's just like kind of
the nerd.
Yeah, he's the nerd, and he's like quote unquote the fat one, but they don't make like overly fat jokes about him.
They never make fun of him for it.
Yeah, no, he just is, but he's also has like, his little pilot and whatnot. And then obviously number 3 is the dude with the bowl haircut, who's just kind of like, a little dumb, but just mainly worried about being cool and always beating up. And he's kind of like the Raphael of the group.
Yeah, he's like, he has to be the cool kid who's always tough and won't accept help from anybody.
Yeah, that's why his hair is always over his eyes and whatnot. And then obviously number 4 is the Japanese girl who I guess can be a little stereotypical, but is also very much just like that's kind of
she's literally the kid's innocence. Like she's super happy, friendly. She'll make friends with anyone. Doesn't matter if they're adult or not. Like she was always like completely in her own world.
Yeah, with like her little green sweater. It's like way too long, but she loves it anyway. And like the droopy sleeves goes on to add on to the character, I feel like. Then obviously number 5 is the black one who's
the most mature out of all of them.
Who's the most mature, but is like a girl without being forcibly like a.
She was almost tomboyish at sometimes.
Oh, she is. I remember back then. I remember a lot of kids said like, "No, that's a guy. He just sounds girly," and I was like, "No, that's definitely a girl." But it was just like, you could tell they're from like the probably more inner city parts of a lot of places by the way they talk and the kind of stuff they use and whatnot.
Yeah.
So every time they talked, yeah, exactly. Like. I don't know. It always felt natural, and I didn't realize I was getting diversity, but they never like forced it down anyone's throat. And we're like, see, look at how black this character is, because some shows can do that where you're like, okay. That's
they never made a show of it.
No. It was always just kids having fun with, like you said, stuff that they just find around. Like, okay, yeah, mustard bottles and ketchup. That's going to be like our guns. And then it's just like the kid's imagination. And I would like... I mean, we saw that in South Park, The Stick of Truth and whatnot, where the kids are using like little wooden swords and like all these other little random things to play. Yeah. And it's sad because people don't do that anymore. Like, I feel like that's like never happens with kids these days.
No, I remember doing that as a kid. Like, I'd pick up a stick and wave around like a sword, or if it's shaped like a gun, I go pew pew pew. But nowadays with technology, most kids don't even go outside anymore, and if they do, it's like, they're usually looking at their phone or on a tablet or something.
Yeah. I mean, we sound like major boomers right now, but it's true.
I mean, there are a few kids around my neighborhood who still like to go outside and play, but that's probably because they don't have a smartphone or anything like that yet.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And if they don't have one, they're thinking about it. So I just think a show like that would bring back a lot more of the creativity and imagination. I think if they would bring it back, I feel like they would try to do some like, no, they're codename teens next door. Like, no, don't give me that. Just
and then they probably introduced like LGBTQ stuff, which don't get me wrong, it's fine, but only when it's done right.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a focal point. It should just be something that happens to be a part of that character, not like, hi, I'm the gay one. It's supposed to be like, hi, I'm this number, and
we're
this,
a couple.
I'm that. Yeah. Oh my god. Of course. It's just, I don't know. I love it also. That show I feel like is super slept on, and I think like if you tell people our age, like, do you remember this show? People are like, oh yeah, I like that, but people don't really understand like really how freaking good it is. And when you analyze it as a more matured person, you really start.
Most of the episodes like are vague for like I have a hard time remembering some of them, but like some of them still just stick with me.
Yeah. For sure. I can still remember like visuals and like all kinds of different like
Or like
areas.
the thing that number 3 was always crazy about, like the Moki Mokis.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole there's a whole like a franchise line for them with like the little monkey dolls, or like, and there's a whole theme park episode for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they were all like cute, but then they all take over and like randomly snap. It was weird because it was like an interesting, funny way to kind of do zombies without doing traditional zombies.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what they were. It was like horde mentality, overwhelm everybody with cuteness, and then mind control them and whatnot. And it was just crazy because it's always like they're threatening, but they're not like scary or weird.
No,
it's just like what the heck am I
they're an
watching?
obvious threat, but they don't scare you.
No, and the set pieces, like some of the environments they go around in, that like they've built and whatnot, I was just like, dang, bro, what the heck? Or I remember getting excited when people from like I guess other neighborhoods or something would come in and like deliver news or whatever to number 1 or something. I'm like, oh wow, this is whole other armies and whatnot. Like it's like a whole city's playing the game, and everybody's in on it, and that would just be like the most fun thing in the world. But
and then like there was the movie like series. Or there was a movie. I don't think it was split into any different episodes, but like where grandpa, like there's the main villains like father, the kids from down the lane, then like the adults. But then they introduced like the main, like the old super villain grandpa who was villain for everybody because he was turning everyone into like old elderly zombies and whatnot.
Dang, I never got to see that. What the heck?
It was great. It was awesome. You should really watch it when you get a chance.
Freaking A. Dang.
Yeah, because like that was the end point. Because like they were doing all these super cool like reveals. Because like I don't want to spoil it too much, but like they revealed like, oh, what happened to number 0? Why are what's with the kids from down the lane? Why are they like that? And then like, why is father and always blacked out? But then you realize they explain those things. Like they explain a lot of things that they don't explain in the series, in the movie basically.
Dang. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's just it's very underrated. It doesn't get the credit it deserves at all. It's like a top 5 cartoon for me all time.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's another one of those like, oh yeah, I remember that. It's like a member berry for Cartoon Network. Like, oh, I remember and stuff. I remember. That. Oh, I remember that. I don't know what's your underrated cartoon. Even though we just basically went on like a freaking a 10-minute tangent on how great that show is.
Let me see. What's a show that I really liked that I always watched? Freaking, I can't, yeah, this is what I talked about. Okay, freaking, I'm trying to think, I don't know, Popeye the Sailor Man.
Dude, bro, that's my favorite old-timey cartoon ever. Like, no lie. That is my all-time favorite, like, old-timey-ish cartoon. Frick. That, it's, like, a lot of it has to, well, there's 2 main reasons why that one's always classic to me. First and foremost, Popeye is the most OP anime character in the world. Because like this dude will like bend metal and sew it together like it's thread, or he'll like spit nails instead of shooting nails. Just like all the stupid overpowered crap Popeye does. It's so freaking ridiculous. I still see clips to this day of like it seems like the internet all makes Popeye like the most OP person ever, and I love it. But it's also something I didn't notice until they have like full old episodes back like up on YouTube, like full old episodes, like 30 something minutes long. They're really good.
Yeah.
One of them is he's like in the I believe he's in the Middle East or whatever, and he's just visiting there, and you know they're like thirsty or they're like starving. They're looking for a restaurant, and they find one, and then it's this gang of pirates, of course, led by the Sinbad, the the constant villain in the whole thing, the Bowser to the Mario, basically.
Yeah.
So he leads a gang, and they always terrorize the town by stealing everything. And so obviously they steal everything, and they steal olive oil, which Popeye goes and saves them. But something I didn't notice I love so much is there's not a lot of sound effects, but there's a lot of people like talking as if when they were given the script, they are giving their like lines they have to say, but then they were watching things happen in between those scenes. Like when Popeye will say something like, "All right, get ready, you're gonna get it," and then like so the other person's gonna talk. He's like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Is that what you think? I'm gonna
Yeah,
show
a lot
you,
of
I'm gonna show you some
banter.
of this." Yeah, there's like a lot of small banter, but even like when the gang was like the gang of pirates was like, I mean, they're in a huge horde and they like basically, you know, run by the frame or whatever and everything's stolen. But it's not like you're just like, ah, rah, rah. It's just like a bunch of different people saying, oh, steal it, steal it, steal it. No, water, 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 water,
Like they all
water.
have their individual lines that you can only
Yeah,
hear if you listen to them
yeah, like
multiple
frick.
times.
Exact, like go. I'm telling you, just look up old Popeye full episodes, something like that on YouTube, and if you find what I'm talking about, listen to what everybody says all the time, and it's so funny to me. I don't know, especially Popeye, because he always says just random crap. Exactly, like all of his little sound effects and whatnot, and it's super freaking enjoyable. I mean, I can't think of a single Popeye episode that I was bored watching just because he's always OP and just like stupid.
Oh yeah, he's
But
always entertaining.
I love it. Yeah, always. Just because it's like, okay, how did you guys even think to even animate and do that? Like, who thought of him solving this like that? What the freaking heck? But yeah, I definitely agree with you. Why do you love Popeye?
Definitely like the visual effects, like just the slapstick humor, the way it looked in general. It still holds up to this day. Like it looks amazing how much effort they put in with all the details that they animated and everything, as well as the characters. Like you, even though like they do this, they don't cease to entertain you, even though you know exactly how they're gonna behave each time.
Yeah.
Like
Facts.
Olive is always this damn stress, but she can be smart about it. She can sometimes defend herself by like wailing at the big guy whose name I forgot already.
Link bad.
Yeah, Link Bad, and then Popeye's always gonna put up. He's even without his spinach, he's still strong and can put up a fight. He's usually just put at a disadvantage or taken advantage of until he's able to fend for himself in some way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, if you look on YouTube, if you look up like a canceled Popeye movie, they have made movies before. Those weren't really, I don't think, all that good. Or like, there was one I saw on DVD that I can't remember the name of, but I don't think it was that good as this like show. But like if you look on YouTube, like you'll see the canceled movie they were going to make. I forgot why it's canceled, but it looks so good because it had everything that the show was. It was great about the show, but in a movie.
Dang. I would have loved to see that.
Although I've been seeing rumors online, like, ooh, it might be coming back soon. Like, they might be making another one again. Like, they're gonna recontinue or something.
I would be so down. I don't even want them to update the animation style. Just keep it that same old-timey.
I mean, they did update it, but it looks like it still looks great, though.
Okay, good.
Like, it looks like it did before, but it looks modernized, but it still has all like the slapstick humor, the way that the characters move and interact with the objects around them.
Okay, so it's kind of like, did you ever see the Peanuts movie, the most recent one?
Peanuts, like Charlie Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen which one's the most recent one?
It was just called the Peanuts movie.
Yeah, I watched it.
Like, okay, that's like a good example of keeping it, like updating it, but also keeping it very original and fresh, because they had like a lot of original stuff that was in the movie, the way everybody cries and does stuff, but it was still like in really pretty graphics. So you're talking about it kind of looks like that?
Yes, it looks like the comics.
Ooh.
It looked really good.
Bet. What the heck? That's freaking lit.
Yeah,
okay,
but it got canceled, and I'm like a long time ago. But now some rumors are resurfacing that it might be coming back.
I think a Popeye show coming back the way like Well, it would have to be handled by people who know what they're doing, and I feel like a lot of people who write cartoons nowadays are always pushing an agenda, so hopefully it doesn't turn into that.
Yeah,
But
definitely the studio
it
has
would
to do a good
survive.
job of handling it.
Yeah, but I definitely think a new Popeye show would survive and like actually be competitive in today's,
I
I guess,
mean,
viewership
as long
market
as they
model.
don't worry about being politically correct in any way.
Nah, like just keep that same old energy and whatnot. Just update the visual if you need to. Just make sure you keep it close enough to the OG, just making it look good.
Yeah.
But like, don't lose out on any of the things that I spoke about that I loved it, because I feel like that's what makes Popeye Popeye. And of course, I mean, the only agenda they pushed was eat spinach, but it
Yeah.
was like also such a meme that now there's Popeye's brand spinach. Like you can buy canned spinach that has Popeye on it.
Yeah, I saw that one there, like, oh wow, they made that thing.
Yeah, every time I face it, I'm like, oh my god, freaking Popeye. I always like, here's good thing. Oh,
Like his
freaking
theme song was
A.
like Popeye the Sailor Man. Popeye the Sailor Man. He always beats him to the finish because he always beats his spinach because he's Popeye the Sailor Man.
He always had like a different way of saying it at the end of his episode too. I love that. He's just a freaking legend. Popeye
Yeah.
is just always gonna be a legend to me. It's because it must have been pretty hard to compete back in the day with Looney Tunes being so classic.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, like you said, like the visual style back then was so good that when the game Cuphead came out, like recently,
Yeah.
well, I mean, not recently,
The
but
DLC for it.
yeah, it was like it reminded everybody how much they love that visual. And every time I see a review on Cuphead anything, people always like, dude, this game is so freaking pretty. What the heck? And it kind of makes me wish they brought that style back, just full color and like smooth animation and whatnot, but still that very much, I don't know. It's so creative. It felt like back then people were making cartoons because they really had a passion for it and they weren't sure what to do with it. So it was
Yeah.
very unique. But nowadays, and this is also like this in gaming, we can go all day about this, but it feels like people who create content nowadays are more worried about creating content that will get them more views or money and will like cater to an algorithm or a formula that a company has up for them, rather than look, just make cartoons. Hopefully it makes enough money for you to get another season. So people are trying their best to be funny. They're just like, yeah, we already got 6 seasons planned out. Let's just get kids to mindlessly watch this and then not really retain anything or learn anything from it.
It's
Like,
buy low, sell high. How much little effort can you put into something and still make money off of it?
yeah, it's always cutting corners. It's sad. It's depressing.
I mean, and for the YouTube algorithm thing, like, yes, you have to. Obviously, you gotta cater to the algorithm. You have to put in the effort to make sure that you're getting the views and whatnot. But there's also, like, I don't care about what I upload. I just upload whatever I feel like. And if I get successful off it, that's great. If not, then I'm not gonna cry about it.
Exactly. Exactly. Eggman, exactly. Frick yeah. But it also seems like everybody's trying to be like a different version of something else rather than being very original in their own ideas, which
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I don't think it's ever gonna go back to that organic feeling where it feels like everybody's competing with their own original ideas. It's like, no, I want to be the next big thing, so I'm just gonna do what I
Like,
pretty
people
much
are
know is gonna work.
more, instead of being worried about how can I be a better version of myself, they're more worried about how can I be better than this person.
Yeah, or recreate some of this magic that I used to watch. I'm just like, I don't know. It's a little jank. Yeah. See, dude, we talked pretty well.
Yeah, I get it. I'm starting to get the hang of it.
Yeah, it's just talking. That's all it is.
Yeah, I don't do that enough.
Yeah, I'm bringing you out your little comfort zone. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're turning into such a great young man. I couldn't be a more proud, scary black mother. Friggin' A. Well, frick. I mean, one question turned into how long was that?
Let's see, that was 25 minutes.
Oh my god, that was just one question. We made it 20 minutes, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
See, look at how good you are as a podcast, sitting here talking about it.
I'm down to do another question.
Oh, bet. Yeah. I got plenty more. Let me see. I literally came up with this while we were on this call. Okay. This is a bit of a tough one. So you choose one and you lose the other three forever. Okay?
Okay.
That's the rules of this question. It's about food. Hispanic food, Italian food, Asian food, and American food.
Asian
Choose
food.
one. Asian food? I didn't even have to think about that. Why? What's your reasoning?
Asian food. When I think Asian food, it's very I like the I like the spices. I like the seasonings. I like the flavors of the food, like the variety of it. Like I think when I think Asian food, I think noodles, rice, fried chicken, shrimp, all that kind of stuff. And it's like that's all I'm down for. Like that's my favorite kind of food.
Yeah. And you're a big fan of like Japanese snacks and stuff like that, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Okay, dang, yeah. Usually people are like torn because when you because obviously I've been torn on this question because I freaking love all of them pretty much. The one I would keep is Italian food. I'm a huge lover of pasta and just like I mean, okay, I'll say pizza, but I don't know if that's like. I feel like Italian people are like, that's not real Italian. Meh. Like, no, it is. Meh, and stuff like that. Regardless, if pizza's part of it, then that's definitely helping it. But a lot of it's mainly just the pasta dishes and whatnot. I mean, they have some rice dishes and like their sandwiches. Like a lot of Italian delis are really good and things like that. It's definitely usually always pricier to get good Italian food and stuff like that. But like American off top is definitely would not compete with the other three. It's not even close.
I've had like I went to so I have my yeah, I have an uncle and he's friends with an Italian guy and he makes home cooked meals for Italian food, and if you ever eaten like an Italian, they will serve you huge portions of like really good food that will leave you stuffed just on the first setting, but like okay, you gotta work your way through the second one so you don't come out across as rude or anything like that. And then it's like, wow, that was a really good meal. But like Italian foods, they know how to eat. They will stuff you full like in just the first like serving.
Facts.
With like appetizers just alone.
Facts. Yeah, it seems like Asian food is a lot more like smaller portions, but you can get a lot of different things to get your fill rather than like Italian will be like lasagna and Asian food will be like you can do a little bit of sushi, maybe a little bit of ramen if you want some of that, some white rice at the end of that.
Yeah.
And they also are like, I don't know, a lot of the best culture. I mean, this just goes for culture. No, this isn't even just limited to food, just culture in general. A lot of really dope stuff comes from Asian culture or like Japanese culture, and you know, whether that be anime or the video games or the music they make, a lot of that stuff it seemed to creep its way and inspire a whole lot of really good things here in the States, at least growing up. Like I freaking love to death Dance Dance Revolution. Oh my freaking god. Okay, I don't play it much anymore because I just look like a bag full of pudding jiggling around. But when I was skinny, I was freaking on that crap. And like the music's always like pumping. You're always like feeling so hyped up, and in the background there's like some random character dancing. You're like, what the heck is going on? So like the music, just all that stuff. But and the thing about Hispanic food, I feel like it's all good, but I feel like a lot of their dishes are the same ingredients, just with like one minor change, and that changes the whole name. Where like when people tell me like, oh, have you ever had, and then they say whatever it is, and I'm like, no, what is that? Like, oh, so it's like a tortilla with like meat and like this like salsa and like this red sauce and all this, and then on top is more sauce. I'm like, oh, so it's just a burrito covered in red sauce? They're like, yeah, basically. I'm like, well, then why didn't you just say that? Why does it have a different name? Like, what the heck? That's not different. That's just the same thing cooked together. I don't know if I'm triggering anybody by saying that, but like, that's usually, at least from the experience, like, I'm not claiming to be a culinary expert. I don't know all the dishes, but at least what I've seen growing up and what I've heard from people growing up is, although it's always fire, it's always the same ingredients together, and I feel like I would get tired of those ingredients quickly. And I'm really not a fan of Mexican candy at all.
Mexican candy's weird to me.
Yeah, it hits my palate just not. I don't like Tajin. I don't like freaking. I don't know. I don't like I know I used to work with Hispanic people that would get like hot Cheetos and like have cheese sauce in the bag and tahini and a lot of other stuff. It just doesn't satisfy my palate, and I'm really picky. And a lot of Asian food also is a little like too light on, like I like heavy flavors that like punch you in the face. The way, you know, like a really good lasagna or a pizza or even like a burger hits. I think a lot of Asian food is just really good, but a lot of times it's very subtle, or it kind of creeps up on you, at least the way it hits me. So that's why I go Italian, because it's like go big or go home, and I prefer that kind of style. But you definitely do seem the kind of guy who would pick Asian over like all the other options.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like there's a Cambodian food place out front from where I live, and I usually just get the shrimp fried rice and with crispy egg rolls.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, it's
Great.
delicious.
Yeah. I had a hard time coming up with what American food even was. And the only one I got to was like mac and cheese, a burger, corn dogs, deep fried anything.
It's like stereotypical American food.
Yeah. So like, although like I would miss hamburgers for sure, because burgers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Fire. Those are so good. But I could live without it if I could get a nice plate of fettuccine alfredo with like some broccoli and chicken and a dope breadstick with Parmesan cheese all over. Oh my god, my mouth is watering just thinking about
so
it.
good.
Oh my god, it's so good. But yeah,
yum.
No. That's you every time they bring you another plate. No.
I'm full.
Oh, that was just the appetizer. Freaking A. Actually, while we're on the food subject, let me ask you this, because this is what I think is interesting. Tell me your favorite fast food place, just in general. And then
Burger King.
Okay, what is like the classic Alex order? So you know how, well, I'm sure you've seen it, but McDonald's is running that like little promo where they have the Travis Scott meal, where you go there and you say, I want the Travis Scott meal, and then you just get whatever he usually gets, which was like some burger with like some bacon and like all this other crap. If somebody went to Burger King and said, I would like the Desikin's meal, what would they get?
It could be
You can give me multiple options.
like I basically like the Rodeo King, which is like onion rings,
On a burger,
cheese, bacon, on a like deep fried onion rings on a burger, and it's with barbecue sauce. I usually ask them to go heavier on the barbecue sauce, because I always feel stuffed after eating it. Or like I'll get the chicken the spicy chicken with barbecue sauce added to it.
Ooh.
It's like I don't know what it is, like with certain fast food places, their sauces are just freaking amazing. Like
Burger King
I
sauce
love
is
their
really
honey
good.
mustard and I love their barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Burger King's condiments are very much slept on. Like, very much. I definitely agree. My girlfriend used to work at Pizza Hut, and so she would experiment mixing different wing flavors. Barbecue sauce and buffalo sauce on a wing is so freaking good. So the thought of a spicy chicken with barbecue sauce, it would probably give off the same thing, because first of all, the spicy chicken, the bun they use, is it a sweeter bun? Because it always tastes sweet, like almost like a Hawaiian sweet roll.
Part of that and part of the sauce that they use, because it always comes in that tinfoil bag.
Yeah, when I first looked at the bag, I was like, this looks so freaking unhealthy.
Oh
and
yeah,
I pulled it out, and I was like, oh god, what am I gonna eat? But then I bit it, and I was like, yo, this is so freaking good. What the heck? Dude, heck yeah. They also I feel like they stepped their fries up from when I was a kid to now.
Oh yeah, their fries. I always love their fries.
Dude, especially I even dip it in milkshakes too. Like, I do that. Like you have to do that when you go to Wendy's, but Burger King fries are freaking fire. Wait, what was your go-to drink? Do you go soda or do you go with a milkshake or something?
The Fanta.
What flavor of that?
They currently have a mystery flavor that I like, which I think is like pineapple, kiwi, and maybe like lime.
What the heck?
Like it's supposed to be mystery, right? You don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but just those are the flavors that come off the top of my head when I think about it.
Dang. Wait, what the flip? Dude,
It's
I didn't
really
know
good.
that about it. Sheesh. Okay. So if I went to Burger King, I said I would like the Desi King's order. I would get a spicy chicken or a rodeo. What would you say? The rodeo something?
Yeah, the Rodeo King.
The rodeo. Rodeo. Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeehaw!
Yippee-ki-yay. Okay, you did get it. That, and then you also get obviously some fries, and then a mystery. Okay, well, what if the mystery flavor isn't there? What's like the traditional Fanta you
Or
go
just
with?
like cherry. They usually have like cherry or like strawberry.
Oh, dude, I always go strawberry Fanta, and it always hits just right.
That's
Or
the
I
thing
go
about
strawberry
strawberries.
Sprite.
Like, they don't. This fruit by itself, I don't usually think it tastes that good by itself. Like on its own, it's like it's its own fruit. It doesn't taste that good. But like
Mm-hmm.
in other food items or like freaking like
Food flavoring.
yeah, like it is strawberry based products like strawberry
Yeah.
jam, strawberry smoothies, strawberry foods. Like those always taste better than the strawberry itself.
I see. Okay, I'm glad somebody said that because every time I say that, people always look at me weird because I'm not really a fan of strawberries either. My
Neither am
favorite
I.
fruit's a grape. Like just pop in a green grape or any color grape, and I'm happy as can be.
Oh
But
yeah.
like I always take strawberry jam over grape or anything else. Like I always go strawberry, but I don't like strawberries like that. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Frick, dude, that's sick. If I had an order at a fast food place, mine would be at McDonald's, and I would go if you ordered the Zabu's World meal, the Zabu's meal. You get a Big Mac, small fries, a McChicken, and a chocolate milkshake, or a Sprite with. I don't even get condiments unless I get nuggies, but I don't usually get nuggies much these days. But a Big Mac, a McChicken, fries, and a milkshake or a Sprite. That would be my meal. Dude, your meal sounds hecka good because I mess with the spicy chicken a lot, and a lot of people don't bring it up when they talk about what's the best chicken sandwich. Low key, I wish they made like the last time I went there, it kind of ruined my experience because like I got a piece of chicken that was kind of pinkish, but not just from the sauce. It seemed like it was maybe a little interesting, I'll say. I still ate it.
Undercooked.
Yeah, I still ate it. I was starving.
Like when you
I
bit
don't
into it, the texture was kind of like almost rubbery or bouncy.
like it still tastes cooked or it still felt cooked, but it just looked not appetizing. I mean, it could just be because I'm a dork and I was like, this doesn't look as good, but I don't know. So maybe I wish if they would use a higher quality meat, but that was only that one time. Every other time I've gone, it's freaking phenomenal. And I didn't even expect it to be that good, but frick, it's like a very underrated sandwich.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Frick yeah. Frick yeah. You little freaking legend. Oh my god. Okay. Another question for you, and this will probably be the last one.
Okay.
Okay. If you go back to your childhood, as far back as you can remember at least, what was the first video game you played that like was hard to put down? Like I know when you first start playing video games, every game's kind of like that. But what was the first one you like wanted to like beat it, complete it, and like know it all, or maybe you just wanted to make sure you finished the story, or you got all the collectibles? Like what was the first game that you were like really passionate about playing?
The youngest I was when I was like that was Pokemon Blue. Because like it didn't matter what I did or what I was doing, I'd always play from the start of the game to the Elite Four over and over. Like I'd beat the game, reset it, and use a different team. Beat the game, reset it, or use the same team. Like just over and over. I don't know why. There was something wrong with me. And I just kept playing the same game over and over.
Do you remember your OG team?
I think it was, of course, like it was Blastoise, freaking Kabutops, what's his face? Hitmonlee.
Oh, that's a good one. I always chose Lee over Chan.
And then that's 3. I can't. God, it's been so long since I played.
Come on, Lee. Jeez, that freaking brings back.
Who the frick else did I play? It was
The
I had a
legendary
water
bird at all?
type. I think it was Lapras.
Oh, probably. Lapras was cool.
Lapras is always a go-to for me.
Oh, always. Every game Lapras is in, I always have it.
And then what else? There was. Gosh, I think it was like I always like. I think I played. I can't remember. Oh, like Snorlax, just because he was there and he was easy to train.
Oh yeah. Just that fat HP.
And then,
Nothing
like,
super
I
effective.
didn't understand how trade evolutions work, so, like, I was using, like, Haunter a lot, wondering why he wasn't evolving. Because, like, I thought, oh, maybe if I get him behind enough level, he'll actually do something.
Dude, I was like that with Kadabra. I got into like a level 87 and I was like, what the freaking heck? Why isn't my Kadabra evolved? What is going on? And back
Yeah,
then,
but, like-
it's not like you could just look up on YouTube or Google real quick.
No.
Oh my god. Freaking A.
Yeah, but, like, and by the time I literally got one of them, the Pokemon you can't evolve by trading to level 100, and thought I didn't understand what I did wrong. And I just thought, okay, maybe, I don't know, it just doesn't evolve into something. Cause, like, I was trying to figure out how to complete the Pokedex, but I didn't realize that you could do that. You had to have other players to do it with, and I never had anyone else to play Pokemon with.
Same. Playing the new games on the Switch definitely felt good that I could actually go trade with people and stuff. Holy crap.
I mean, to an extent, like, I liked the global trade system they had in Omega, like, that they introduced in X and Y, and that they had for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which I played. But other than that, they took it away from after that, and it's way riskier for me to trade with random people, because, like, I have shiny, like, Pokemon that only trades, like, I have a shiny Scyther, and the only way we can evolve is by trading it with a metal coat, and I don't trust a random person online that I can only trade with it with a random Pokemon that they have, and they could just keep it. Because in the global, in the global, once they took away the global trade system, Pokemon you have to get from other versions, or you have to trade to evolve. It's harder to do because there's no real communication features, so you can't talk to the other player. Hey, I want this Pokemon. Can you give me this one? Like, oh, I'm looking for this one. This is what I need to get from this game. But it's like, no, there's no that. So you're like or like people just want to show you all the legendaries that they have or whatever.
Freaking show offs.
And like that's the thing about legendaries. I don't care about legendaries. I care. Like, I think they're a little bit overrated. Like, some of them are fun and cool, but like I just prefer using like the base regular Pokemon that anybody can get.
Yeah, especially if you have a shiny,
Oh yeah, definitely.
which I've never had, but obviously you've had like a bunch.
Yeah, like I'll have like there's most of them I've grinded for because I had nothing better to do with my time, but I definitely have a few that I got by random luck, and it's like I got a shiny Alakazam, I got a shiny Gengar, I've got like a shiny Golduck.
Dang. A shiny Gengar is lit. What the heck?
Especially like the shiny Gengar alone, it seems boring, but if you like get the alternate forms like the Gigamax, the Mega Evolution, they have that. It's a cool white sprite. Like, it's all pure white
Ooh.
instead of just an off-color tinge of purple.
Right. Ooh. What the heck? I don't even know what that looks like. I'm gonna look it up. What the frick?
Yeah, it's
Dude.
super cool. Like, the Mega Evolution for shiny Gengar is sick.
Oh my god. Oh dang! What the frick? Why would people not like that? It's like the all white with like a little tint of pink, right?
Yeah, but like in the base form, it's just like you can barely tell the difference between it and the regular version.
Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Like, there's a lot of shinies that are like that where they're just different colored versions of like off-colored, like the shiny Pikachu. He's just a slightly orange,
Yeah. Whack.
which I can understand why some people will be upset about it.
Frick. Dude, he looks sick. Holy crap. That's amazing. Yeah. My OG team from when I first played the game, I barely beat the 4 because I didn't understand really what I was doing that well. Obviously, I went Charizard. Duh. Because I'm an idiot. Well, no, I'm not an idiot. I didn't go Bulbasaur, who just gets bullied all the time by me. I hate Bulbasaurs. No, I shouldn't say that. I don't hate him. I actually like him. Charizard, Kadabra, Lapras, Articuno, Zapdos, and frick, who's my 6th?
Oh yeah, I forgot about the bird trio.
Yep. I killed Moltres, not realizing what Moltres was.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, a really hard Pokemon. Go Lapras. And then surfed, and then he died. I was like, yeah, I beat a really hard one. Can't wait to find more of those.
And
then
you
I went
never
to school.
did.
Yeah, I went to school, and then friends was like, no, that's a legendary. You're supposed to catch those. So on my second playthrough, the first time I saw Zapdos, I was like, oh, Master Ball. Like a freaking nerd. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But that's just how it was back then. I think my 6th was Snorlax, and the strat was use Snorlax to throw him out and then like max revive all my other ones.
Oh yeah, like
let him take the hit.
Because like that's the thing I'd always do. Like I'd always get like 1 or 2 of my Pokemon super high level, and then like all of my other ones to be under leveled, and they're just there as fodder until I get my main Pokemon that I use back to full health or revived.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta get the PPs up. Oh frick! So I think the first game, which it's actually funny that you answered that. My first game that I started taking that seriously was Pokemon Fire Red, because my first system that I had was a Game Boy Advance that I got because I had this huge dental surgery when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Where they pulled out all the teeth on the right side of my mouth. I had no teeth on the right side.
I hate the dentist.
Dude, I hate the dentist with a passion. And then the left side of my mouth was all in metal caps because I was like terrible at taking care of my teeth. I would like pretend like I brushed my teeth and then just go to bed and stuff like that. I was bad. Like I've been lazy since day one. But so obviously my mom wanted to get me something for going through with this big surgery, so she got me a Game Boy. And I always recall the story of her telling me, like, when they were bringing me back out, like when she saw me like laying on one of the little beds, I had all this blood pouring out of my mouth from all the teeth they just pulled and stuff. And she's freaking out. She's like, oh my god, like look at my little 6-year-old kid just bleeding like crazy. I wasn't crying. I was too busy playing Shark Tale on my Game Boy, and I wasn't crying at all. I was just chilling. I was like, this is amazing. So I played a lot of Super Mario Brothers 3, which was like their little like HD remaster, I guess.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Metroid Fusion and a lot of other games on there. But the one that stuck with me the most that I brought on every car ride, when my mom would get her nails done, I would always play, was always Pokemon Fire Red, because it's always like the feeling of not knowing anything and playing your first Pokemon game. Because I feel like nowadays, if people try to get into it now, they're gonna like they know what Pokemon's kind of about. But when you're a kid, the sense of exploring and finding new Pokemon, you're like, whoa, what the heck is that one? What's one's name? Dude, there's just nothing like that. Seeing all these random things and hearing the noises and their new moves where you're like, wait, an earthquake, magnitude, something. What the freaking heck? I'm dead off of magnitude 9? What does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like all that freaking crap is just one of the all-time greatest things in gaming. And I feel like we're very lucky to have been born when we were born, because we experienced gaming at its peak. I don't think it's going to peak more than that. Maybe sales and number-wise, but not quality. Oh my god, Pokemon is like the perfect game to get your kids into. Pokemon and Minecraft, I think, are like two of the best video games you can get your kids deeply into without worrying about it being like inappropriate or something.
Definitely with like the speaking of Pokemon, I tried to. But what would your thoughts or opinion on Brilliant Diamond and Brilliant Pearl?
That's the latest one that came out, right? Those are remasters?
Yeah, the latest remasters.
So for me, it was amazing and probably the most fun I had in Pokemon. because I only played Fire Red, Platinum, Sword and Shield, so I missed out on a huge gap of games. I think I also played Ruby as well. I don't know, something like that. So I missed out on this huge gap of games, and to be able to go back and play those games, but at the end of it, I could also get all the starters from all the other games I missed and all the legendaries from other games I missed. Like I have every single legendary in Brilliant Diamond or whatever. I have all of them, and I beforehand I had like barely had any in my entire life. So the fact that I got to try out all these new Pokemon and put them on a team and organize my box and really start filling out the Pokédex was fun. But I could see how maybe some people it was just kind of meh. But to me, it was an amazing game, and it is right now still my favorite Pokemon game I've ever played.
So for me, Brilliant Diamond Brilliant Player, I did not grow up playing the originals, so I don't know what. Like for me, I can see how a lot of people how it sustained itself just off of nostalgia alone. But for me, Pokemon has gone a little bit stale, and like I kind of put it down after getting halfway through, because like I lost interest in it and it was getting more attracted to other games. But like I was enjoying it for the first portion, but like I broke it myself off of it because I played Sword and Shield, and that's the only game that I managed to complete the Pokédex in. Like that's the only game I ever managed to fully complete the Pokédex in for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Because I took the time and effort to get every single Pokemon from every single like region and version, and that's the one that has like the super scare and annoying ways you have to evolve your Pokemon. Whereas I was trying to do that, like I was grinding my way through each area for Brilliant Diamond, Brilliant Pearl because I wanted to complete the Pokédex as soon as possible. But then I realized that was ruining my experience for me, so it kind of killed it for me. So like, if I were to play through it again, I just play through it however I'd want to play through it and not worry about the stupid Pokédex.
Yeah, that's fair. The Pokédex, filling out the Pokédex,
is a chore.
Well, a little bit. It's less so in Diamond because if I'm not mistaken, you see every Pokemon on your journey except for like maybe
version exclusives.
Yeah, well, the version exclusive, you just have to walk up to a poster of it in like some cave, and then
that thing.
It. Yeah. So, like, because obviously you have to complete the local dex to get the global dex, and that's when like the underground really opens up.
Yeah.
When you get the global dex. Me just playing the game normally and beating the story and getting to the point where there's like no more story for me to do. I only had like 4 or 5 Pokemon left to look for. And thankfully I had obviously like YouTube to be like, where do I find this one? Where do I find this one? Where do I find this one? So I just did that real quick. And then I was able to experience the whole thing. So, I mean, I technically completed the first Pokédex on that one, but I'm not completing the global dex. That's just way too freaking much. It's like 500 Pokemon. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Frick. So I hope you do go back and go through it, especially doing the global dex and being able to farm for shiny versions of ones you want, whatnot. I think it would actually also be cool if you do end up going back to it and you get the global dex or whatever Pokemon game you get, having some streams where you freaking are just farming shinies and just chilling, talking about a bunch of nonsense would be amazing.
I mean, so for what's this? I'm trying to remember. For the underground, that was like so Brilliant Diamond and Pearl like has a lot of features. The underground, like, which I felt like kind of overwhelmed me. Not that that's a bad thing. That's something I noticed. Like, there's a lot to do in that game.
Yeah.
Versus like freaking Sword and Shield, where it's very linear and the most is like the DLCs and the Battle Tower. Whereas with freaking the thing I like the most about Brilliant Diamond and Pearl is that they introduced the mechanic where you can have your Pokemon follow you around. Because that's my favorite thing. Any form of interaction where you get to like connect with your Pokemon in some meaningful way. Because that was just my favorite thing to do.
Yes.
Because like in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I would spend hours upon hours doing like the special EV training or like giving them Pokepuffs and petting them. I just spent hours just doing that.
Yeah. Freaking A. Heck yeah.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite things to do.
I was actually gonna ask you as well. How was Legends of Arceus or Arceus? I forgot how you say it. Did you finish that game? Like, I remember you did a little bit on the channel, and you were thinking it was pretty good. How was that? Like, how did it age as a game?
I mean, I only played through like a couple, like an hour of it. I should probably pick it back up again, but it definitely like I stopped at the first alpha Pokemon, which is like the Cricketune, but like it was definitely freaking nice change of pace. It was super innovative. I loved it. It was super cool, and I don't know why I stopped it, other than like time and all that. But like, it was definitely freaking. It was definitely amazing. I would definitely pick it back up again, as well as the fact that like it was super fun, and like I only touched the surface of it, and there's a lot more that you can do with it that I probably haven't even done yet.
Facts. Dang. I know. It doesn't seem like the kind of game I would get into, but I can appreciate how unique it is and stuff like that. But it usually takes a decent amount for me to get into a Pokemon game. I just need the same old formula with new Pokemon. Especially now that I can buy my own games, I don't have to be like, Mom, will you buy me the new one?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Buy me the new one. So I will be trying out that new one. I forget the names of it already. Something about a Scarlet or something like that.
Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. Like,
Yeah,
I already
for sure.
pre-ordered Scarlet. Scarlet.
Of course, you already pre-ordered it, you little freaking nerd.
I mean, I gotta get the pre-order bonus.
Oh my god, what is the pre-order bonus?
I think you like get unique cosmetics.
Of course, you freaking little, you're just you little you. Oh my god. Yeah. Well, that about does it for the freaking questions and topics that I had. I really appreciate you having me here.
Yeah, and I really appreciate you giving me the your free time to have this conversation.
Dude, of course, dude. Anytime. You seem like the kind of guy I could, like, I don't know, work with or something. Like, I could see myself working with you. You know.
Yeah, totally. I can see myself working with you on a day-to-day basis as well.
Yeah, suffering. Yeah. Oh my god, I would love to suffer at a stupid job with you. That would be so much fun.
Oh yeah, we got to stick it out together.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, my 3 favorite letters are CAO, and I don't know why.
Yeah, mine too.
Oh my god. Well, hey man, thanks again for having me. I appreciate everybody who watched this far. Thank you so much for sticking through, and hopefully you freaking subscribe, and then you could see more of Desikin's amazing freaking content, because he's kind of fire. And if you don't think so, then I don't know why you're here. So shout out to Desikins in the channel, sub, love him, and dude, I'll freaking see you on the next one. I appreciate you.
Yeah, sure thing. I actually enjoyed doing this now that I got into the groove of it.
Yeah, woo! Desi Kids! Desi. Oh my god, shine light. Okay, I'll stop there, but yeah. See you later, my dude.
See ya.